NBC News Radio.
Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocket.radio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
It is Coffee Ann on ONAM at FM. Thanks for joining us on this Thursday morning. It's April 27th in the year 2023. My name is Joe Callahan. You know who you are, of course. And sitting across the table from me is attorney Bob Lauder. Good morning to you, Bob.
Good morning. Good to be with you.
Good to have you with us. And we expect Emily Haining-Sheehan from the call to join us, but she's not here just yet. Although I did just hear a door open. So maybe
true.
Nope, that's not Em at all. And... Yes, Dave, yes, go ahead.
She's now careening into the parking lot from Kennedy Street.
On two wheels?
No, there were four.
Yeah, but how
Not
many
all of them were touching.
How many
Joe.
are on
Let's
the
not
ground?
Get technical about this. There were four wheels.
All right, we'll wait for her to get here in just a minute. We'll also be joined a little later on
Once there was the steering wheel.
by Steve D'Agostino.
There was the nut behind the wheel.
City.
Probably I hear her honking her horn now.
Okay, well, go see her.
Who is the
go see her
commentator
in
who
there.
was just sitting in
I
here?
don't know. You know, he walks in all the time and
Walks
just starts
in, yeah.
talking. And
Good morning.
all right, M's here. All right.
Yeah.
You should.
Nice.
You heard my car.
Yes, I heard the honk. I heard the
Yes.
honking. So
I needed to get here.
I didn't know if that was directed at us or at somebody else.
I was stuck behind a bus.
School buses. The scourge of society. Huh?
Yes.
Well, now that you're here, Em,
Yeah.
you can give us a first message from the Call newspaper.
Yes. So Mother's Day contest is on its way. So you can actually go on woonsocketcall.com or pawtuckettimes.com and vote once a day. Yes. Let me show the audience. So look at all the great participants we have. You can possibly win, of your choice, a gift card. First place, second place, third place to one of these great participants. So the first place prize is $100. $100 gift card to
I'll take it.
Yes.
your choice
Your choice,
of
yeah.
the participating sponsors. The second is $50 gift card, and the third is a $25 gift card. So definitely go online. You can vote once a day and enjoy that Mother's Day with a special gift from the Call and the Times.
All right, very good, Em. Thank you very much. Comments and questions can be called in at 766-1240. So we're going to start things off with you, Bob.
Oh,
So
you're in the
Another
hot
sports
seat.
question.
it's not a sports question. It's more of a law thing. And just your opinion, I guess, on this, because there was a case with some students at Boston University, and they decided to sue Boston University. And a federal judge actually ruled on the side of BU.
What were they
And
suing about?
I was surprised. Usually they go with the kids on this. But a federal judge has ruled in favor of BU in a lawsuit filed by 6 students. The students wanted refunds because classes were conducted online during the pandemic. Okay? The students argued, or their lawyer, students argued that BU violated a contract when it kept their tuition without providing all the services they were promised. And right away I'm thinking, this is from the nice try department, but okay. And the judge ruled the university never promised, quote, an on-campus experience.
I would think that's correct.
Yeah, I do too. I don't remember signing any. When I went to school, I didn't sign any contracts with the
No,
with the
I didn't either.
with the school. I gave them money,
Yeah.
and they said, okay,
A lot of money.
a lot. You can live there for a little while, and you can attend classes. That was our agreement.
Yeah, maybe they were going on the idea of an implied contract that
Yeah.
traditionally you have on-campus classes, but I don't think that they had much of an argument that was going to prevail. I think
Yeah,
the judge was right.
I'm surprised a lawyer picked this up and ran with it and said, I really don't think we're going to win. Maybe he's looking for a settlement. I don't know. But I do remember back when the pandemic was going on, there was talk of lawsuits from college students that were living on campus, had already paid their room and board, and yet now they're home.
Yes, that was
Yes,
a huge issue.
And right, and I don't remember how that all got settled. Did colleges, and I guess it goes by each college, did they get refunds from the food that they paid for and never got, or the lodging that they paid for and never got as well?
Well, not that I know of.
Yeah.
You know, to tell you the truth, and I know, like with my nephew, he graduated during the pandemic, and they never got the money back.
No, okay.
And he lived on campus, had the food program and everything like that, and never got reimbursed.
Did you ever hear about any lawsuits, Bob? Of,
I don't recall hearing about it.
I don't
could
either.
Look them up and see.
No.
I don't think they were, or they were dismissed right away. And nope, you don't. There's nothing here. And this was a case of the school had no idea. And,
Well, of course, nobody at that point
It's not
in
anything
time.
the school did that.
Yeah.
So they get to keep their money. It's just the way it goes.
The way it goes.
So sorry about that. But so how about it got to a federal courthouse? This thing with Boston University.
Wow.
Well, they started off in federal court, probably. Yes.
Okay. Why not a state thing? Because is it because it's a private school or
No, I really don't know why it would have been in federal court. I would have thought
Yeah.
that the Massachusetts state courts would be the appropriate venue for that. Yeah.
maybe they just lost there and we're going up, and
I don't know the philosophy.
you got to
on
read
that.
you got to read the fine print that says we don't promise you an on-campus experience.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
I think that's funny.
Exactly.
We're here to give you an education any way
that's it.
any way we deem necessary.
Now, think back to when you were starting off in school.
Yeah.
Was getting the education really the prime goal, or was it the social life that went along with it and the good times you expected to have?
No, education for me. Yeah.
That's a great question.
And then the partying just was a bonus.
I was looking forward to meeting a whole group of new people. So that was gonna be fun. I was looking forward to taking college classes. I thought that made me felt so mature and grown up.
Yeah. For me, it was different because I was already taking college classes
see, I
because
wasn't,
I went to Bayview and it's college preparatory. So I had more homework in high school than I did in college.
Oh, all right. See, it was the other way around.
So
for
it was
me.
the other way. Yeah. So it was, and I had gone to college on a sports scholarship. So like I was looking forward to, playing sports and, the education, part of it. I was the only one from my high school that went to the school that I went to. So that was exciting, and I was ready for college. By the time, my senior year came in high school, I couldn't wait.
I still remember my first class at Rhode Island College, and it was a sociology class, but it was a sociology 2.0 something.
Yeah.
So I didn't start off with a freshman class. I'm in there with sophomores and juniors who know what they're doing, and the teacher, the professor, is going on and explaining what's going on. I'm like, what's everyone talking about? I don't know how this all works. Oh boy, what have I got myself into? But I figured it out, so I did okay. So all right, so I just wanted Bob's take on the whole thing up there at BU. So makes me wonder how much money these kids lost filing this lawsuit.
Well, BU isn't cheap.
Well, the schools, but then you got to hire a lawyer.
True.
And how much did
True,
they
but
pay
it
the
might have
lawyer?
been a pro bono.
Would you have done that for pro bono work, Bob?
I do
I
pro
wouldn't
bono
have.
work, but I would
But
not
for that specifically,
probably not.
Probably
Because that's going to take a lot of time and effort.
and not necessarily a win.
True.
True.
This is a tough one. So, money up front, please.
Yeah.
All right, it doesn't say, so I'm not sure. Closer to home here in Woonsocket, we had a 2-car crash last Friday night.
I didn't
on
realize
the
that until this morning.
on the intersection of South Main and Providence Street. It killed one person.
Wow.
And it was a hit and run, but they were somehow able to get, I guess, a license plate, and they arrested a guy in Franklin
Wow.
for the for causing the accident.
Now, that's a T intersection. That's not
Yes.
a cross intersection.
Nope,
So
it's you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, how
perpendicular. Yeah.
how did the accident occur? Was it The Providence Street car passing in front of the South Main Street car?
I'm not sure, Bob.
We don't have the police reconstruction report. Okay.
Well, they did, but they don't say actually who was where and what happened and like that. So, nope. Just that the big story is that he fled the scene of the accident.
Yeah.
The reconstruction team launched an investigation to identify and locate the driver and the passenger of a second car, and when they both fled on foot before police arrived on scene. That's always a good plan.
Yeah. Get out of the car
and
run.
make a run for it. Don't they watch TV?
I know.
The cops always catch you.
Yes.
Well, this was a few days later, so but anyway, so they'll be in a Massachusetts court extradition hearing
Okay.
because the Franklin police arrested the person in Franklin, bring to a Massachusetts court,
Right.
And so what's the difference when they say, "Oh, I'm going to waive extradition"?
That
Did
means that
they
they're not
waive
going
it
to-
or they fight it or?
To get extradition,
Yeah.
the authorities from the state where the individual is not incarcerated and apprehended have to go to court to get a order that says, yes, you can get this person to be transported back to the state where the alleged crime took place. And people waive extradition. They say, okay, we're not going to go through the court hearing. I'll just agree that I'll go back to Rhode Island and stand for the charges that were brought against me there. But in this case, the defendants can say, no, you have to prove before the court that there's a reasonable likelihood that I'm going
before
to
I go back.
Right. So
All right.
it adds another step. It gives the defendant an opportunity to find out a little bit more of the evidence that the prosecution has against them. But at the same time, once they get back into Rhode Island, their attorney is going to be filing the Rule 16 motion for discovery, which is going to basically say to the arresting authorities, show us everything you have.
Yeah.
So you'll find it all sometime.
All right. So nothing about waiving the extradition here. This looks like he'll be coming back soon, right? All right. Now, Bob, if you're looking for extra work,
Yes,
but
absolutely.
you'll have
as
to,
long as it's not gardening work.
but you have to pass the bar. In
That's what you have me for. Oh.
Really?
Yes.
You have to pass the bar in Massachusetts.
All right.
So sorry about that. So there's the man up in Cohasset, okay, that's accused of killing his wife, although they never found the body. Mm-hmm. He's got other legal issues too, and it's got it's right up your
Littering?
alley. What's that?
Littering?
Not littering, no.
Oh, okay. Oh,
But
no,
it is
the
right
body
up your alley.
parts.
It's got all to do with fighting over who gets what of their father's estate.
all right.
It's all that.
Good. Love
Punching.
that.
Yeah, so he had to ask. He had to ask for an extension on a court date that was coming up because his lawyer, unbeknownst to him, quit.
Nah.
His lawyer that was going for just for the estate stuff, not his murder
The
charge.
murder
All right.
charge. Yeah.
That lawyer he still got. But so he had to ask for an extension on this other thing because I'm having a little trouble locating a lawyer stuck in prison and all. I just don't have the access to get out and about.
Well, your
So-
lawyer can't just, if you have a case.
That's what he
in
said to the judge.
in
He
court,
quit. Yeah.
If you have a case in court where your lawyer has entered an appearance and said to the court, I'm going to represent this particular individual,
Mm-hmm.
that lawyer cannot just suddenly arbitrarily quit and walk away. You either have to get a court, you have to have the client agree to your being removed from the case, or you have to get a court to allow you to withdraw. You can't just suddenly say, I'm not going to represent him anymore and walk home. No.
Oh, no,
So,
okay.
the fact that he's alleging that he didn't know his lawyer had quit, if the case was in litigation in probate court, in the superior court, the lawyer couldn't just walk away. He had to go to court, and he would have notified the defendant. So,
Well, he was given his extension on this whole fight with his siblings over who owns what from their father's estate.
great.
So, but he's back in court today on the other charge.
On the murder charge.
On the murder charge.
So
he's all set there with his lawyer and stuff. So
Oh, good.
But it was funny because I saw him. All the Boston news stations had it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, my lawyer quit, and he didn't tell me."
That doesn't sound accurate
Hard
at
to
all.
believe. you
Yeah.
Right.
know? Okay, I thought it was odd. I mean, how many times they never do that on Law and Order?
No, they don't.
Well, there are,
But,
there are occasions where you and your lawyer don't agree on the strategy of the case, and
But usually you fire the lawyer or do you dismiss him and get somebody else.
Even if you fire the lawyer,
Yeah.
you have to tell the court what you're going to be doing next. If I'm your lawyer and you don't like what I'm telling you and you want to fire me, that's fine. But you have to get either somebody else to come in and represent you, or you have to agree that you're going to represent yourself. But
Always a good idea.
terrible idea.
Yeah.
But you just can't leave the case hanging out there with no representation.
All right.
Very interesting.
It sure is. All right, we're going to take a break here on the Coffee and program. So it's back over to M for a second message from the Call newspaper.
Yes. So we just talked about Mother's Day, but we need to talk about Father's Day.
Yes.
So, Father's Day, we are in the midst of getting sponsors for the Father's Day contest. So, if you are interested in participating, we have two levels. We have a $300 sponsorship level and a $500 sponsorship level. And that is actually billed over 2 months. So, it's a little more affordable. You're not getting, hit with the grand total amount all at once. It's split up between May and June. And again, from previous years, there's a lot of sponsors that get, participate in the contest. And we have some great opportunities to get your business out there for Father's Day in the paper and online. So if you have any questions about participating, please give me a call at 401-767-8500.
Very good, M. More Coffee and coming up. Stay tuned.
The latest word from John Chan at Chan's Fine Oriental Dining on Main Street is early bird specials. This is for dine-in only. Sunday to Thursday from 3 to 5, get $2 off 32 special combo dinners. $2 off. Drink specials on Sunday to Thursday, 3 to 9 p.m. House wine, $5. Domestic beers, $4. Mai Tai and Scorpion bowls, $7, of course. Get your poo-poo platters at Chan's. Enjoy the awesome Chan's experience. It's so good. Chan's is at 267 Main Street, Woonsocket. And you can go online at chanseggrolsandjazz.com or give them a buzz at 765-1900. Takeout, drive-through, delivery, or sit in the booth. Chan's.
The Coffee and panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee in Pawtucket. They're a 62-year-old family business that roasts all its coffee right here in Rhode Island. Founded originally as Excellent Coffee Company, they provide great coffee to food service establishments throughout New England.
Have you heard of Scott McGee with Remax Properties? He's been selling real estate in Rhode Island and Massachusetts for the last 17 years, and you can see that he loves what he does. Scott, as well as his team, take pride in what they call the fair and honest team. No gimmicks. And no, they're not buying your house if it doesn't sell, etc. Just fair and honest real estate. Scott personally works with tons of sellers and buyers and specializes in residential properties as well as commercial, and he's always very fair and offers super competitive rates. Remember, this is probably the biggest move in dollars that you will ever spend or receive. You want to go with a trusted and experienced agent. Scott is fair, honest, and modest, always puts the clients first, and he also dealt with literally almost any situation. You really need to look at your real estate needs as a business. You want to pay and get the right money now so that you're not paying for it later. Trust me. So why not give Scott McGee a call at 401-639-2906. That's 401-639-2906.
All right, Em, let's hear that number again for Scott McGee.
Sure, it's 401-639-2906.
Scott couldn't be with us today, and hopefully Scott may be able to join us next week. One more time on that phone number?
Sure. 401-639-2906.
Thanks, Em. Bob's going to go early today, so we're shifting his sponsorship. So this first message, this segment is being sponsored by Attorney Bob Lauder. Take it away there, Bob.
Good morning. Thank you. The recent tort litigation involving the movie actress Gwyneth Paltrow brought to mind a similar case in Rhode Island and the concept of the assumption of risk. The case is known as Fontaine versus Boyd, and it arose when 5 individuals were skiing down an intermediate-level trail. Miss Fontaine, who was originally behind Miss Boyd, decided to pass her and felt Miss Boyd's skis run across the back of her own skis, causing Miss Fontaine to fall. As a result of the accident, Miss Fontaine suffered serious and permanent damage to her knees. Miss Boyd, the skier who was being passed, defended the claim for negligence by arguing that by participating in the sport of downhill skiing, Miss Fontaine had assumed the risk of a collision with another individual, and that this risk was inherent in the sport of skiing, and the injured skier's claims were barred by the concept of the assumption of risk. The accident took place in New Hampshire and was brought in Rhode Island because the defendant lived in Rhode Island. The Superior Court of Rhode Island reviewed the New Hampshire law and ruled that assumption of risk arises when 1. The injured party has given his or her express consent to relieve the defendant of the obligation to exercise care for his or her protection, or 2. The injured party has voluntarily entered into a relationship with the defendant which the injured party knew involved risk, or 3. The injured party, aware of the risk presented by the defendant, proceeds voluntarily to encounter it. The court concluded that the defendant, Miss Boyd, had no duty to protect the injured skier from the dangers inherent in the sport of skiing. The defendant only had the duty not to act in a manner that would unreasonably increase those inherent risks, and that absent any facts by which the reasonable finder of fact could conclude that the defendant unreasonably increased the risks to the injured party, the risks are therefore inherent in skiing, and the claim of the injured party was barred. If you'd like to discuss legal matters with me, please call my office for an appointment. My name is Bob Lauder. My telephone number is 762-4550. And the disclaimer: the Supreme Court of Rhode Island licenses all attorneys in the general practice of law. The court does not license or certify any attorney as an expert or specialist in any field of practice. Thank you.
All right, the court got it completely wrong, Bob.
Oh, good. Well,
In that case, yes, there's an inherent risk when you go downhill skiing.
Right.
That you may crash into somebody else. So if the three of us go skiing and we're going down the hill and you trip or you fall on the slopes and now you're picking up speed and then run into me, that's an inherent risk that I accept may happen.
okay.
But if I'm skiing downhill and Emily intentionally runs over the back of my skis while she is skiing and causes me to fall, she's at fault.
But
I think.
you have to prove that it was a malicious intent on her
Yeah.
part and wasn't just a
Well, she doesn't like
natural
me, so
consequence.
yes.
Well,
Ha ha! Very funny.
well, actually, it wouldn't have been running over your skis. It would have been taking the ski pole and just going right through your heart.
Well, yeah, that's
But,
true.
you know,
that's tough to do. You wear a big jacket.
Oh, okay. But, Emily's not intentionally trying to trip you up when you're skiing. And in this particular case, it didn't sound like the defendant was intentionally doing something like that. It was just inherent in the nature of skiing down a slope that you can collide with somebody else, and
Yeah.
that's what happens.
But if you're out on the road, I don't intend to hit you with my car, but if I do, I'm still at fault. What's the difference?
I don't think that in driving a car,
Yeah.
you're not assuming that the opposite driver is going to have that kind of an accident with you. In going down a ski slope, there's an inherent danger, and you know it, that
Yes.
there's people going to be falling, people going to be skiing across your path. That's part of the nature of downhill skiing. Nature of driving a car is you keep in your lanes. I mean, you've been driving a car now for, what,
Oh, 40 years.
40 years,
Yeah.
okay? And fortunately, you haven't had
Yeah.
any kind of collision with another vehicle. You don't anticipate that that's a likelihood to happen.
I don't anticipate
You-
people skiing over my skis either.
Okay.
Well,
And
I mean,
them's is fighting word. That's going to get ugly on the slopes if someone skis over your skis.
yeah, but I mean, especially if you're skiing in powder, you don't
Yeah.
see the skis.
No.
So, I mean, I was a skier for many years,
Mm-hmm.
and you go on the slopes with expecting that you need to have eyes all around your head.
Yes.
Because you don't know if there's a younger child that has just graduated from the ski school and is
That morning.
well, but that's, you understand that once you get on the top of that mountain, kind of all bets are off. That's just personally. I mean, my husband and I actually talked about that a lot with the Gwyneth Paltrow case, and my husband was an extreme snowboarder, and he said, he's like, all bets were off. He's like, if I'm coming down the mountain, that you're getting out of the way. If you don't, then I'm just going to go right through you. So it's, I mean, obviously it's all, whatever the personal opinion
Well,
is.
right. When I was at the top of the mountain ready to go down, I'm making the assumption that all of us know what we're doing. To some extent.
No, wrong. wrong. wrong.
Not that we're all going to ski in control. That's one of the rules, ski in control. But I just, do we all know how to stop? I mean, we're not doing this. No one ever asks, who's here doing this for the first time?
Well, I mean, and it depends because that's why there's different levels to
Oh, right.
the ski slopes.
Yeah.
If you're on a black diamond,
You better know what you're doing.
you better know what you're doing
Or you're gonna
because
hurt yourself.
you could hurt yourself and obviously people around you snowboarding or skiing.
Yeah.
This
You
is
get-
an awful lot of
you get-
work to go through just to get some hot cocoa at the end of the day. Wow.
Or a hot toddy.
Yeah, they're not getting hot cocoa, Bob. All right, down in Providence, you never like to see this because you put your kids on the school bus and you think everything's going to be fine, and this 9-year-old girl got hit with a rock and glass. Someone threw a rock at the school bus that was traveling on Douglas Avenue. The window broke, and the 9-year-old on board the bus suffered a cut to the face. They were taken to Hasbro Children's Hospital for treatment. No word on why someone's throwing rocks at the school bus.
There was an article on the news in the last week where
Yeah.
a woman was killed when some students, or kids rather, threw rocks from a bridge over a highway. That smashed
You hear
into
that
the
a lot.
windshield.
Yeah, you hear
Let's
that.
throw cinder blocks off the highway.
Yeah. Irresponsible and
And I wonder if this was just other kids. Hey, let's throw rocks at the school bus. Not intentionally trying to hurt the child, but I don't know if they're trying to break a window or what. Maybe they just want to dent the bus. I don't know.
I'm surprised that it actually broke the window, though, because
Yeah.
when you think of your motor vehicle, your car, if it takes an awful lot of strength, of force to actually smash through the glass on a side window of a vehicle. Now, are the bus windows not as
They're
protected?
thin. They're more thin. They're thinner than.
Motor vehicle windows.
Yeah.
Okay, that's weird.
And plus, what was the age of the bus? Is the
Yeah.
glass
that's
older than was there already damage to the the window and it just took that one.
So now do we have to go around and reinforce all the windows on the bus?
How big was
and-
the rock?
How big was the rock? Well, big enough to be thrown. So yeah, was it a hand or was it
Or was
a bigger
it-
size? You need 2 hands. I don't know.
yeah.
And I feel bad for the girl.
At least
Oh,
it didn't
bus,
scare
it's
the
just-
horses that were pulling the bus, so that's good.
How many horses?
Well, 2 or 3.
2 or 3.
probably, yeah.
All right. We I think the last movie filmed in Rhode Island was Hocus Pocus 2
Yes.
down in Lincoln. A new one is coming.
Ooh.
What's that?
I don't know if you're gonna know this franchise, Bob. M's gonna know it. The Good Burger franchise.
Oh, nice.
See, I know she knew it. Good Burger was a skit on a kids show on Nickelodeon.
I think it was Nickelodeon.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the big star, his name is Keenan Thomas, has gone on to huge things with Saturday Night Live.
Okay.
All right. But he started out on this kids show working at a burger joint. It's called Good Burger, him and his friend. And it did so well, they made a movie called Good Burger.
Okay.
Obviously, it's a comedy. So they're coming back. They're going to film in Rhode Island, Good Burger 2.
Nice.
It's coming.
Great.
Yeah, and they'll be looking for extras and other actors. It doesn't say where they're going to film.
Okay.
I wonder why they chose Rhode Island. That's nice, but
Taxes, incentives, who knows why.
yeah.
We send out scouting people to find the best locations, and I don't know. It doesn't say do we film down at the down in Newport along the water, or do we want the Capitol building for whatever reason, or like Hocus Pocus 2, we're gonna set up a set on this farm and make it 1692 in Salem, Massachusetts.
well, they did in Woonsocket. They did
They did
Haku.
The Purge. They did also did
Yeah.
the Purge movies here.
Oh,
Yeah.
And that dog movie,
The dog
as
movie.
well.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll come up here. I don't know.
And the call was actually in the Purge
Was it
movie.
a shot of the call going right by the building?
No, some of it was,
Filmed in
actually
there?
filmed. Yeah.
And you didn't get in the movie?
This was
Oh, before you?
Yes,
Oh.
yes.
'Cause I remember having the mayor here one time when they were filming. I said, "You got to get me in the movie. I want to be a dead body on the ground. That's all I want. I don't want to say anything." And but I can just say, "Hey, that's me." Never happened.
Oh, right.
So I'm still trying. I don't want to join SAG and have to pay and like that. So
Well, you know what? You don't have to, because I go on their website because
Yeah.
like the Gilded Age,
Yeah.
which is filmed in Newport, and they're looking for extras, and there's different rates for if you have your SAG card or if you don't.
oh,
And basically you just fill out the information. They ask a slew of questions. I haven't been picked. I think with period pieces, you can't have tattoos.
oh, that's right. Your hair's
You,
gonna be
you,
just
you can't have
right.
dyed hair.
Yeah.
It's
You're
there's
moving on to somebody else.
yeah, exactly. But
All right, we're gonna get Bob out of here. So, Bob, time for a
Yes,
second
second
message
message.
from your law office, and then we'll send you on your way.
Thank you. That sounds kind of ominous. Good morning. A few minutes ago, I discussed with you the concept of the assumption of risk as it applies to skiing accidents. I'd like to call your attention to Section 7-6-9 of the General Laws of Rhode Island, which grants to uncompensated volunteers of a federally tax-exempt organization protection from liability based solely upon the individual's conduct in the execution of the office, unless the conduct is proven to be malicious, willful, or wanton. The statute, however, does not relieve the exempt volunteer from liability based upon ownership or operation of a motor vehicle. The statute also protects the volunteers from liability for injuries incurred while a person is participating or practicing for a contest or a sports exhibition, provided, however, that in the event of a minor child, the parent or the guardian of the minor child has signed a waiver of liability, an acknowledgement of the assumption of risk regarding that athletic activity. If you'd like to discuss legal matters with me, please call my office for an appointment. My name is Bob Lauder. My telephone number is 762-4550. The disclaimer: the Supreme Court of Rhode Island licenses all attorneys in the general practice of law. The court does not license or certify any attorney as an expert or specialist in any field of practice. Thank you.
All right, Bob. Thanks, and
Hope to
have a
see
good
you-
day.
Hope to see you both next
yes,
week.
good luck.
We'll see you. We'll see you next
I
Thursday.
will listen to you as I go down to the court.
Very
Thank
good.
you.
Thanks, Bob. More coming
The
up.
best little auction in Massachusetts is Trudell's Auction Gallery in Bellingham. Auctions are presented every other Monday starting at 10 a.m. Please check out their website, trudellsauction.com, to see when the next auction takes place. You can stop by Trudell's Auction Gallery on the weekends before the auction to preview all the items being offered. You will see antiques and all sorts of personal property items from various estates. Trudell's Auction Gallery, 799 South Main Street, Bellingham.
This ON weather forecast is being brought to you by Positive Coach Alliance.
A 30% chance of showers today, mostly cloudy skies all day, high of 58. Tonight, partly cloudy, overnight low of 36. Friday's weather, mostly sunny, high of 65. Saturday, 60% chance of showers, mainly in the afternoon, cloudy and 57. Saturday night, 80% chance of rain. Sunday, 60% chance of rain and patchy fog, mostly cloudy, high of 64. Sunday night, 90% chance of rain. Monday, partly sunny, 65, still with a 60% chance of some rain and a wind from the southeast up to 35 miles an hour. Then on Tuesday, mostly sunny, high of 59. And Wednesday, partly sunny and 57.
Currently outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio on the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street, we have sunny skies and 52 degrees. Questions about youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit organization, develops better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. Information at positivecoach.org.
You know, when you're paying the right price for protection, you just know it. It's that warm, fuzzy, totally secure feeling, knowing that you're not only getting great coverage, but you're also not paying too much for it. And when it comes to your insurance, there's no one better at getting the right price for your protection than Allstate agents Kara and Celeste Benjamin, because they know when it comes to your bank account, every penny counts towards something bigger, something better. Like a nicer car, that home update you've been dreaming of, or a phone that's fresh out of the box. Those little or big things that we work so hard for. And Kara and Celeste Benjamin want to help you work a little less by getting you the coverage you need and the savings you deserve when you switch to Allstate. Contact Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, 2 locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. 765-5000 for a free quote today. Allstate, you're in good hands. And you're in good hands with Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. Savings vary based on the average annual savings reported by new auto customers surveyed in 2019 who switched to Allstate.
Lou Mandeville here to tell you the only place to get your local high school and college scores, as well as the Pats, Bruins, Celtics, and Sox is on My Morning Sports Reports. And they are right here on ON 1240, Monday through Friday on the Morning Fun Show.
It's Coffee In here on ON AM and FM. Thanks for joining us. This is Joe Callahan here with Emily Haining-Sheehan. We're also being joined at the Coffee In table now by Dave Richards. Hi there, Dave.
I am? Oh, hi there.
And from the city of Woonsocket, Director of Public Works, Steve D'Agostino.
All
Good morning to you,
rise.
Steve.
Good morning.
Nice to have you here. Nice to have you here with us, Steve.
You know,
And-
a guy's important when he carries 2 cell phones, Joe. I mean, I run a telecommunications company. I
You only have
only
one.
carry one cell
Yeah.
phone. But this guy has got me outclassed by a mile.
I don't know how you keep them. Can you tell one from the other without hearing it ring?
I can.
All right, there you go. Well, they are slightly different sizes. So, our first thing up, Steve, want to congratulate you because of all the things that happened last week at the City Hall with the mayor's medical issue and being taken out, and in all the press come hounding. We need to talk to somebody, and you stepped up. You were there to say everything's fine. Everything's going to be okay. It's business as usual here. So I saw you on 10 and 12, and I'm not sure if you were on 6 or not, but I saw you on 10 and 12. I said, all right, Steve's got everything under control down there at City Hall. So good job.
Like a well-oiled machine, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Someone has to be in charge here, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
Did they show up and say, well, who's the highest ranking person in the here that we can speak to?
No, I mean, we assume in the administration that, first of all, everyone kind of knows their role and they know what they're doing. But I guess it's, unspoken, but, I confer and interact with the mayor probably the most and anybody in that building. So I kind of know her mindset and I know our objectives and so, yeah. So, I'm the unofficial chief of staff or whatever, director.
Or deputy mayor?
No, I'm not.
No, I don't want to say that. Okay.
No.
We'll go with unofficial,
Yeah,
of course.
I'm not a Woonsocket resident, so I'm not deputy mayor.
I see,
But,
I see.
But listen, she's the mayor. At no time she wasn't the mayor,
Right.
and so as long as she can communicate in some fashion, she's the mayor,
Okay.
and that's it.
And you've seen her. She's been back at City Hall. She's looking okay.
Yeah. She's been working from home and from City Hall. And matter of fact, I picked her up yesterday and brought her and took her home, and everything's seems fine.
All right. Well, good.
Good. Glad to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was scary there for a little while.
Yes, it was.
Last week.
Yeah, you were there.
Yes, I was. And I'm like,
And
wow.
yeah, it was obviously unexpected.
Yes. Yep.
But I just want to congratulate all the staff that was there and the public safety officials. I mean, the police chief, deputy chief, fire department,
The quick response.
response
was
time.
great.
It was impressive. And yeah.
All right. So moving on to other things going on in the city, because it's now springtime and it's street sweeping season.
Yeah.
And that was one of my questions.
Okay. Well, go ahead and ask it then, Em.
So when will that be starting?
It started Monday.
It's already
Okay.
started, yeah.
Yeah.
Look for the sign. They have
Yeah.
electronic signs in your neighborhood,
Yeah.
on your street.
And it was posted in the Valley Breeze and the Call, the order. So
Of
they
the streets?
start, not street by street, but the Globe District.
Yeah.
From there, it goes to the North End, and from North End, I believe, Fairmount. And so the order is in there. I don't have it with me, but
No, that's fine.
Well, we have it right here from
Yeah,
the
there
call
you
if
go.
you'd like.
that's okay. I'm good.
There you go.
Who comes up? Speaking of that, who comes up with the order of the section of the city that that you
Well,
do.
I did in this particular, and we followed like last year's.
Mm-hmm.
So the last district last year becomes the first.
Okay.
Yeah. So usually the mayor does, but in her absence, I did.
You came up with it. Okay.
So-
So, and how long does street sweeping season last? Does it go like 6 weeks or a little longer than
Yeah,
that?
well, because we use no sand, we literally used zero sand last year. So
Didn't
all we
snow that
have
much,
are
so that's
is
good.
leaves and
Yeah.
cigarette butts and
And little nip bottles.
little nip bottles. Yeah, so most.
Lots of little nip bottles.
Yeah, yep. So yeah,
And so, what do you do with all that?
6 to 8 weeks.
Okay. And what do you do with all that debris that the machines
Usually
pick
goes
up?
to the landfill.
Right
Yeah.
there. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. We sort out whatever we can, trash, and
Yeah.
the rest of the debris goes to the landfill.
Does it bother the drivers when they're going down the street and there's a car that's parked there and they have to go around and
Yeah.
like the plow people?
Well, we also advertise that when we're in your
Area,
district, your
yeah.
area, that if you could not park your car in the street, that would be helpful.
And not only that, the night
Mm-hmm.
before, because you're given notice. I mean, unless
Yeah.
you stay holed up in your house and you don't see the signs or anything like that, well, that's very unusual. But they give you the notice, and you should get out there with a broom, even if it's just a regular household broom, and all the stuff that's on the sidewalk in front of your house, sweep it into the gutter. Normally, you wouldn't do that, but the night before they come by with a sweeper, they want you to do that because they're not going to climb the sidewalk with a sweeping machine.
That true,
So-
Steve?
So
That's correct.
Yeah.
so
Okay.
sweep it into the gutter, and they'll come by and take it right out of the gutter and away from your neighborhood.
Yeah.
So the question that I have then, do you ever get phone calls of you've done a street and there
Yeah.
have been cars in the way? If someone calls, can you come back? And because my sorry, my car was in the way, and now we have this
Yeah.
load of junk in the street.
Yeah. No.
So the answer is no. You missed your
Well,
opportunity.
That's kind of silly, but I will tell you something I've noticed here in Park Avenue. On the days they're doing Park Avenue, if they have time, they make a second pass.
Okay.
And that's completely at the option of the driver. If things are going well that day and they've got the extra time, they will come by and make a second pass when the cars aren't there, if they can. I mean, they don't want to leave stuff behind, but
Yeah.
again, they're workers. They got to get their job done.
Right.
How many street sweepers does the city own?
2.
Okay. How many miles to the gallon does it get?
About the same as the TV truck, Joe, -4.
Yeah.
Not many.
Not many is right. Well, it's not. I mean, what do you get up
It's
to
not
10 miles
measured
an
in
hour?
whole numbers.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't go very
They don't
fast.
go that fast.
That's
but,
right. So okay,
They're
and
not built for speed.
right. But two's enough to cover the city.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's plenty.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if you were in.
Well, the thing
The
is,
market
you can
to get
throw a
another
brush
one.
or something,
Yeah.
or a bearing, and it's
Right.
just natural wear and tear,
Right.
even with good maintenance.
Yeah.
And if that happens, you want to stay on schedule.
Yeah.
Drag the second one out.
Yeah. Well, no, we use both simultaneously.
Oh, really? Do you? Yeah.
Oh yeah, because we want to get each neighborhood done as fast as possible,
Mm-hmm.
and but because of the administration, the mayor, we've purchased a new one just several years ago, which is not cheap.
How much? I was gonna
100
ask.
grand.
200,000.
Oh, more.
More?
Yeah,
Wow, okay.
More, and because the others were when she took office, the others are all aged.
Oh,
They
yeah.
broke down every other day. So so we just the fleet has always been, reconditioned and replaced the entire time she's been here. So
Okay. How many places in the United States can you even go and see? I need to buy one of these. In terms
there's
of
not
dealerships.
Well, there's not many. I think there's only like 3 companies that make. I'm getting a call as we speak, but there's not many. There's probably 3, and
Yeah.
Elgin is probably makes one of the better sweepers.
Where are they located?
In this country, probably Massachusetts.
Oh, that's
they
not
have
bad.
a dealership. I don't know where they're actually made. I think they're made in the Midwest,
Okay.
but they have dealerships throughout the country.
So when you had to buy the new ones,
Yeah.
and you need them transferred down here, are they put on a truck to come down
Yeah.
here, or do you just
yeah.
drive it?
Oh yeah, no, they put.
They don't
put it on a
drive them,
trailer.
Joe, at that gas rate. You kidding me?
No.
You
It'll
fill-
be it'll
you
be
fill
a
it up.
$1 million machine by the time you get it here.
Well, they
get
put it on a
full tank.
trailer.
They do. Okay, and drive
Transport
it
it
down.
on a trailer.
Around
Okay.
the city, though, you take them right out of the barn and drive
yeah.
to the place
Oh, yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's not worth all the time and trouble on the trailer.
No.
No. They're just driven around the city.
Yeah.
They
All
get-
right.
Yep.
Well, very good, and they're both in good working condition right now because they're relatively
They're in
new.
excellent. We have
Excellent
we
working
have
condition.
we have good mechanics, and they keep up. The brushes need to be changed probably every 2 or 3 weeks.
They
So
just wear
which-
down
Oh yeah.
from scraping against the
yeah.
asphalt.
Quickly, yeah.
Oh, I bet. Okay.
And then they're very expensive and
Yeah, they're not cheap either.
Not
the
easy
main,
to change.
the main cylinder brush, that one right there, that's got to cost thousands.
Thousands, yeah.
Yeah.
And you said it's not easy to change?
Not easy to change.
No, you got to lift the thing up and then get underneath there and pull the thing out.
Yeah.
It's got to be jacked and
Yeah.
supported, and it's not as easy as you think.
Well, I didn't think it was easy, but oh, well,
Side
okay.
brushes you could do with just an adjustable wrench. Joe,
Yeah.
would you like to try?
No, I'm all set there. All right, more of the Coffee In program is coming your way. We ask you to please stick around. Any comments or questions can be called in at 766-1240.
Krakow Deli Bakery and Smokehouse offers authentic homemade Polish food to make your next meal real special. Try our many varieties of hot and fresh pierogi with onions and dirty sour cream, or pick up golubki, kielbasa, babkas, or some fresh rye bread. We also offer a large selection of specialty and imported goods. We're open Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from 9 to 6, Wednesdays 9 to 5, and Saturdays 8 to 5. Follow us on Facebook to learn about our weekly specials. Located at 855 Social Street in Woonsocket, Krakow Deli Bakery and Smokehouse has all the authentic Polish foods you love.
Casey Kasem has unlocked the American Top 40 vaults and is replaying original shows from the 80s. This week, Casey takes you back to April 30th, 1983. That's when the Pretenders were back on the chain gang. Def Leppard took a photograph. Duran Duran was hungry like the wolf. And Prince drove his little red Corvette. You'll hear those songs, all the top 40 hits, and the long-distance dedications from April 30th, 1983, right here on American Top 40, the 80s.
You can depend on us for public service. ON Radio.
All right, it's Coffee In here on ON AM and FM. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callan here.
Now, Joe.
What does who call himself?
We were just talking while the message was finishing up about the 80s, that the 80s bands are out touring again, and that Culture Club is touring again,
Yes.
and that the performer known then as Boy George was performing with the band again. What do they call him now? He can't be Boy George 50 years later.
Oh no, they
Man-
still
Man
call
George?
him. No,
Yeah,
they still
he
call
could be
him Boy George.
Elderly Man George or something like that, right?
He hasn't changed his name, David.
He
has
has not. No.
It's still Boy George.
Yeah.
55 years old, prancing around a stage. He's called Boy George.
They're
Yes.
Still, they're still called the Beach Boys, Dave.
Yeah.
And they're even older.
Well, that's a colloquial term.
All right.
Steve gets what I'm talking about.
Steve
What do you
D'Agostino
mean?
from the
I'm
city.
not old.
Well, not only is it street sweeping season, it's hydrant flushing season.
Oh, goody.
Once again. And so how's that going? Everything all right with that?
Yeah, that's annual routine.
Yeah, you just got to do it.
Yeah.
And have you noticed how the hydrant flushing is ahead of the street sweeping? Because now with the hydrant flushing, they can actually send some of that dirt down the street with the water. And, well, anyway, it's all pretty complicated, don't you think, Steve?
It is. It is. Absolutely. Yeah,
Must be
just
like a
the message from
air flight traffic control
DEM
center.
now, so I got to respond to
Oh,
them.
DEM, yes. Well, we don't want
All
them
right.
being blown off.
No.
They get a little touchy about those
Yeah.
things.
So Steve's
Did
adhering to that.
the DEM say, by the way, you're not all that bad? We got this thing going on in Fall River, so we'll talk to you later.
Yeah. How about that, huh?
Yeah, putting the fishermen out of work down there.
Are you
so.
kidding? Talk a little tiny discharge over here. Nobody really notices much of anything, right?
Yeah.
And it's making the headlines for weeks to
Yeah.
come. And Fall River is like, they're killing clams
Yeah.
5 miles away.
Yeah.
Not to mention, we service the entire region.
Yeah.
We discard their sludge here.
From Fall River?
From Fall River?
Absolutely.
In New Bedford, it comes up this way?
Bedford, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Taunton, all the major plants bring their sludge to
Up here.
Cinnabro.
Wow.
Okay, so you know,
How lucky are we?
not only do we do, the the Lord's work here, but
Yeah.
we're criticized in the interim. So
Well, Steve, during a Woonsocket City Council meeting, I got the distinct impression, listen to you answer questions of the councilors and make your statements, that the agreement to have that plant here in Woonsocket, had you been in charge at the time, wouldn't have taken the shape that it has.
no,
So I read you right?
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. You don't think that that plant right there, while at the time it looked like a good deal, is a good deal for Woonsocket?
I don't think so.
There you go.
No, I don't think so. I mean, quality of life, just the amount of trucking. Put it this way, it certainly wasn't a very lucrative deal.
Well, no, all we do is we get a free ride, right?
Well, no, I mean, we get $1 million
Okay.
in our general fund each year. And
But is that the money that we don't have to pay to have our sludge?
no, that's valued at around 3 or 4 million.
Okay, okay.
Okay, but you have to add it all up. I mean, there is 105 tons burned each year.
Yeah.
I mean each day. Excuse me, an incinerator.
105 times 2,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I mean that's a lot of waste
Every day.
And then the amount of trucks that come through and
Yeah.
and the
Wear
just-
and tear on the roads.
Yeah, the odors that are uncontrollable.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to do the best you can to contain them, but you're never going to eliminate them. It's impossible.
Okay.
Engineers, the best engineers have said that. How can you? Look what you're dealing with, right?
Exactly.
I mean,
Well, could we erect a wind power series of turbines, and then they could just turn them on the opposite direction, blow all the effluent gases in a direction we prefer, like Albion?
that I don't know. That's out of my pay scale. But
I was being flippant, but
Yeah,
I mean,
I-
there's really nothing. There's no technology at all.
no.
Because it's hard to believe that in this technological age that there isn't a technological
Yeah.
reason.
I mean,
Well, you never know. Somebody
you're
might
in
be.
the lowest point in the city.
130 feet above mean sea level.
Yeah, and then you have your wastewater plant here, and you have an incineration plant here.
Yeah.
Okay, and together they treat millions and millions of gallons of waste a day.
Right.
So if you in a very open area, if you think you're going to contain those odors,
Right.
you're delusional.
Okay.
It's not happening.
And on top of that, you have one hill on one side that's 333 feet high, another hill on the other side which slopes a bit more but is over 400 feet high, and
So-
you're at 130 feet high.
On a good day, when everything is efficient and the whole place is running, at 100%, if you can contain 95% of the odors, you're doing pretty darn
All
good.
right.
Okay.
So the question would generally come up then, Steve, if you think it's not good for Woonsocket, and if enough like-minded people agreed with you,
Yeah.
where is the end of the contract where we could get out of it?
Well, you can get out of it, and we're in litigation, so I can't get too deep into that.
No, I don't want you to say something you shouldn't.
There are always avenues. The thing is what you have to decide really is, do you want to pay the additional fee to discard the waste from your plant?
Which is roughly about $5 million.
Well, I'm in that ballpark.
You'll lose about $5 million.
Yeah. So
if you didn't have it.
So you discard
year.
it, and then you don't have the plant anymore. That's it. And you just worry about your own.
But but then there's all the litigation from all the towns that aren't sending it to you anymore.
No, they wouldn't litigate with us. They
No?
have a contract with Synagro, not with Woonsocket.
Well, then Synagro will then sue you. No.
No.
Okay.
No, not necessarily.
Not if you did it through the contract, right? If you terminated the contract in a legal way,
Sometimes there's
that's
a
it.
mutual agreement.
Ah. Well, there's an idea.
Yeah, so you can't always assume that it's adversarial or.
But then, in the abstract, if we're taking care of so many cities and towns' sludge here in Woonsocket,
Yeah.
who would step up to do it instead?
Is that your problem?
No.
Or is that
I'm just
mine?
saying
Yeah.
it becomes our problem if we can't hand the baton to somebody, doesn't it?
No, it's not our problem at all. No.
You're just saying it's tough noogies and
Yeah.
Okay.
It's there are other facilities in New Jersey, Midwest, Canada. So, I think the federal government and other regions in the country should have been more proactive
Yeah.
and build more of these facilities instead of blocking it. See, the EPA doesn't want to build any more of these plants. Well, guess what? The waste is going to go somewhere.
And there's just going to be more.
Yeah, and
right.
it can't, it's
Over
not
the
go-
years.
it can't go
What's-
in the landfill because they don't accept anymore.
Right.
So, what's the alternative?
Hand everybody shovels and let's go back to the
Well,
latrine days,
but,
right?
Realistically, you got to have an alternative.
Right.
And they haven't been very good at doing that. So
Okay.
when you depend on one facility for such a big undertaking, that's dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
It's very dangerous. Who says this plant can't go down on its own
It could.
mechanically?
Well, mechanically, you've already had a serious issue.
Right. So then what? Then what?
Right.
What's Plan B? There should have been a Plan B and C. And if you talk to DEM and these other officials, I mean, it was supposed to happen, and it hasn't.
I get it.
So they dropped the ball. That's the bottom line.
So, on a happier note, how's the gravel business?
The gravel business is outstanding.
Booming.
Really? Now,
There's never any doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
well, I know that there wasn't any doubt in your mind because of your experience, but not everybody's shared your confidence. And now you're seeing the hill start to be distributed elsewhere, and you're looking and you're seeing exactly what you expected to see there.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
That's great.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Sometimes you got to understand that you're not the smartest person in the room. Other people know more than you. Okay? I deal with that.
I frequently have that problem.
Yeah. Well, maybe you should seek some
Professional help.
attention.
I'm just saying, I'm not the smartest
But
person
I
in the room.
understand. I'm not an attorney, right?
Right.
So I'm not a litigator. So I
Right.
don't try to be one.
Right.
But when you have someone who's telling you and has done this before that this is going to work, then listen. Open your ears and your mind and listen. That's it. So there's no surprises. I mean, we took out, 560 loads last week.
Wow.
Yeah, 10,000, 11,000 yards.
That only put a dent in the hill, right?
Small dent.
Yeah.
And I'm happy. I'm happy there's still quite a bit to go.
And they're lining up to get the gravel. It's all good quality. They like it.
Yeah,
Well, we
they
have
are.
an amazing company, Kimball Sand and Gravel from Blackstone. They're very reputable. They're stand-up people, and they love the material. And others are starting to hear about it now, and they're inquiring. But there was a bid process, so if you didn't bid,
Guess what?
You're out.
well, until the next
Next cycle.
tranche of
Next phase?
material. Yeah.
Now, so, at what point do you expect at the present rate and what you expect to increase during the warmer weather months? At what point do you suppose you're going to be done with this material removal
Well,
process?
I said a year
Yeah.
from the onset, but
But obviously, they're not going to be doing it in the wintertime, right?
oh yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Jobs go on in the wintertime. You need material.
Yeah.
Well, what if the gravel's frozen?
There's only a layer of it that's frozen.
That's
the rest
true.
is all-
Everything underneath is fine.
In Rhode Island, you're not only going to get a few inches, really.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's frozen.
And if it's an active hill, it stays not frozen.
Okay.
Right.
And you can dig it out from underneath the frozen, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'd love to see it gone by the end of this year, and I'd love to see the new athletic complex start to take shape immediately, right? So.
And no issues with the trucks going in and out of where the Dion track is?
Because we use the track.
Right,
Like
yeah.
I said.
Yeah.
You don't go through a neighborhood
Yeah.
with 600 trucks
Right,
in a
right.
week.
That would disrupt things.
You think?
Just a little.
And it would make an unhappy neighbor.
right. So it's working out well going
yeah, I
using
mean,
the track.
The track is beautiful. It's actually used as a track. They go on one side and they come
Come
out
out the other. All right.
And
Very
boom,
good.
we have a nice table set up. We do all the logging, the receipts.
Yeah.
It's like a well-oiled machine.
As we drive
All right,
by,
perfect.
we don't even
You don't even
on
see
Cumberland
it
Hill
happen.
Road. You don't even see it happen. There's a sign that says Dion Track closed.
Closed.
Didn't you get the message?
That's it.
But other than that,
Yeah,
right?
that's it.
Each time I go by, I don't actually even see the trucks entering and exiting. I know they are, but
Yeah.
I don't even
Right.
see that.
Yeah.
It's so well organized.
All right, so we've come to the end of the program, so we thank you for listening in. As always, our thanks to Bob Lotta, who came in, who had to leave a little early, but we appreciate it.
Thank you for leaving early,
Thank-
Bob.
thanks-
Otherwise, I wouldn't have returned.
Thanks for popping in there, Dave. I appreciate it. Em, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me. I'll be here next week, same time, same place. Everybody have a great weekend.
All right,
Cool.
Steve D'Agostino, thanks for coming in.
Hey, my pleasure as always.
All right, this is Joe Callahan. Have a wonderful day. Stay tuned. Senior Scene with Linda Tebow is coming up next, followed by Do You Remember with Gary Smith and the crew.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.
A school in Milford, Massachusetts was evacuated yesterday after a student reportedly